Hi, case fans. I'm the PC expert amateur, and we're going to take a look at a case that I first became aware of last year during Black Friday on Newegg. And I thought, oh, that looks interesting. And it was on sale, but I don't remember why I ended up not buying it, but I didn't. And the brand is WJCoolman. It's a Chinese brand. I guess they want us to think that they're cool and their products are cool, which, that's kind of cheesy marketing, but whatever. So why the reason that I was so interested in it is because I'm not a big fan of panoramic cases, and this is a panoramic case called the Dreamer. Um, but whereas the King 95 from Montech has a curved corner, this one has 3 panels. So it has a 45-degree angle panel between the front panel and the side panel. And I'm curious to see later how that compares to the curved panel. And if I get one, just the old-fashioned, kind with no curving at all, which I believe is, I have that with the 011 Dynamic from Leon Lee. So I'll be able to see at least somewhat what kind of differences that provides as far as thermals and airflow and stuff. So this is the case. There's the lovely packaging. Now, they did a great job of packaging this, and I was really happy about it because the outer package, or the outer box that is, that when it came, there were some deep gashes in it that you can see right there that it kind of got a little bit into the inner packaging, but it didn't get all the way in. Now, if anybody knows what this Chinese stuff says, well, just hold on a second. I'm going to tell you what it says because I'm going to get out my translator. All right, so this says Dreamer, and then this is kind of a jumble split warehouse type esports air water cooled split dust proof sea view room. I've seen a lot of panoramic ones listed on Chinese websites like on Alibaba, where they refer to AliExpress and Temu, where they refer to these as sea view, as in ocean, sea, that kind of sea, not like sea like looking. So and then this one, let's get that invisible to you. This one here refers to or means. All right, clearly this was designed by somebody young. This said, players play. Wow. That does not inspire confidence in me, to be quite honest, because it shows a very shallow mindset. And here we have the specifications. So, hold on a second. You have to forgive the clutter. It is getting harder and harder to keep everything stored in my small apartment. And so yeah, it's getting a bit crowded, tight fit. Anyways, so this is our side view. This is the triple panel I was talking about. And these are all removable, although this one is not removable unless you use a screwdriver. These two are a bit challenging, especially this one. This one's a pain in the butt. I do not like this. It says this is tempered steel, tempered steel. Oh my gosh. Tempered glass. But I have to wonder if this is really tempered glass or not. I don't want to find out if I'm wrong, but I really hope it is actually tempered glass. So on the top, as we can see, there is a button here for changing the LED lighting. And that apparently is the reset button. And then we've got LEDs for storage and for power. And the audio, I guess this would be a combo jack. And then this would be USB 2.0 and USB 3.0. And of course the power switch. And we've got an easy to remove dust filter that you probably are going to want to take off this instead of having it on, because you don't want to decrease airflow coming out of here. You want to increase it, and this is just going to get in the way. So there's not really that much to say about the top, is there? Until we can get inside. Anyways. Now I'm going to show you why this is a pain in the butt. In order to remove this, you have to slide it, and it's actually easier to slide it off than to slide it back on. I struggled for like 5 minutes to get it back on. It is annoying. So the reason it's so difficult is because for the right-hand slots, it uses this strange combination of this screw and then this spacer. And the gap between the screw and the spacer is what determines whether you can slide it into that smaller part of the slot. So if this isn't spaced correctly, if it's not loose enough, you're not going to be able to get it in there. And then this little peg that you can see on the other side is what slides into there. And that one's easy. I wish they had just used the pegs. So as you can see, there's no way to mount anything over here unless you get something that can be, I guess, made to fit this instead of using the glass plate, which, I don't know, that might be preferable if you want to have better airflow, but that's not the design, right? And I misspoke. It's not actually between the head of the screw and the spacer. It's between the panel and the spacer. That's where it intersects with the case. And they've got their lovely kind of, I'm not really sure what to call that. At first I thought it was like a spy kind of person wearing a fedora. But now I'm looking at it, it looks more like a monster. Yeah, it looks a little bit like a monster. Don't you think? And here's the back. As you can see, we've got some very large slots here for intake. So at this point, I would say take this and put it here. It really belongs there anyways. If you're and you could use this for exhaust. Since I haven't ever tested airflow within a panoramic case, I'm not sure if it would work better on exhaust. I know that with my Corsair 5000X that it worked better with exhaust on the side, but I just don't know. Then we also have this ventilation here, and this is actually for the power supply. I know it's a little bit odd, but the power supply is going to be on its side instead of laying down because this is a fairly small case. As if you hadn't noticed, right? And now the rear, as always, there's lots of ventilation on the rear because this is where the air is going to come out. So you do have space for a 120 millimeter fan here, and then of course the rear input-output panel is going to be sticking out here from the motherboard. You could, I suppose, if you wanted to, I'm not sure what the, hold on a second. I suppose you could put maybe an 80 millimeter fan here, although it's going to be kind of difficult to and two 80 millimeter fans. It'd be kind of difficult to drill the holes over here in such a way that it's not going to interfere with this panel. Otherwise, just leave it alone. And then you've got the whopping 4 slots here, and then you've got this. I already loosened it up. And these are remove once and let's see, are they reusable? I don't think those are reusable. They look like they're ones you throw away, but yeah, those are throwaway. So unfortunately, they're not reusable. You'd have to order some extras yourself. And again, your power supply is going to be sticking out here with the exhaust going out that way. And they were very generous with their accessories that come with the case. You get cable ties and you get screws. I was being sarcastic, by the way. This is really stingy. There's not even Velcro or anything. So, it's kind of irritating. And we've already seen what it looks like outside. Oh, I almost forgot. The bottom has this nice mesh dust filter here that is reinforced very nicely. And even though there's no reason to have it over here, that's what they've done for whatever reason. I don't know. Maybe they had other plans originally and then they changed it, and I really don't know. But you just slide it out of the right hand side like that. Very easy to do. And I suspect it's going to do a pretty good job because it does fit in there fairly firmly. There's a little bit of play, but not too much. You can see that the feet are have the typical rubber on them that is not held in place with the screw, but rather is held in place with adhesive. So it's liable to pop off if you're moving it around, shifting it by pushing it. All right, so let's go back to the right-hand side here. It's got 2 non-captive screws that are, as with most companies, they ship it out very, very tight. So you will initially need to use a screwdriver just to loosen it up. And then, since you've got the screwdriver in your hand, you might as well go all the way. So these are not captive again. But there aren't a lot of places in this case where you're going to need a screwdriver. But get a nice one like mine. And don't waste your money on the LTT one. It's overpriced. I paid half the price for mine, and I get 2 screwdrivers and like 98 different, not all different, but 98 bits and stuff and other stuff with it. Whereas you get hardly anything with the LTT screwdriver. It's nothing personal. I just think it's a ripoff. And not worth it, the fact that, they spent 2 years agonizing over it when it doesn't offer that much. All right, so this panel is removable, and you can mount your 2 SSDs over here. And then, let's see, we've got cable access here, here, and then also up there. I'll show you that again on the other side, or from the other side. And that's your USB 3. And then we've got USB 2 and that's 2, and that's audio, high definition audio. And then these other ones would be for connecting to the motherboard for like the reset switch and LED, power switch and LED. And that's all there is for that. There's not very much in the way of cable management, which is perhaps why they didn't give us any Velcro, but they still should have, because if you think about it, Velcro is a much nicer way of organizing things in here. And there's certainly enough space to comfortably organize cabling in here, because they weren't stingy about the space on this side. And as you can see, you could adjust, because of the slots, you can adjust the height of the 120s that you put over here. It is a shame that you can't put in a 240. Now, theoretically, what you could do is, again, you could drill holes and mount 240s here. It's going to be a little congested along this part here, but it is still a possibility if you don't mind drilling holes. Just make sure that once you've drilled them, you paint them over in case that the steel is inferior and will rust, especially if you're in an area with high humidity. I don't remember if SPCC rusts or not. That is about it. Now, I'm not sure, but I believe that the reason that there are screws here, right there, and right there, I believe that is for removing the feet if you want to do that, although I certainly would not remove that because you need that space for cool air to be sucked in through the bottom. So don't do that. Man, there is just not much to say about this case. It's so minimal. I mean, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Looks like those are the only tie downs for cabling. So it's a really poor management system for the cables, but at least there's something. This is also really pretty light, and partially the reason it's so light is just because the glass is so thin. That's one of the problems with the glass is, I mean, aside from the fact that it breaks easily, it also adds a lot of weight. So now let's take a look at from this viewpoint, and this is easy to open on here. You just pull that tab there, and as you can see, you've got these pins that go in. These are these two retainers. They didn't give you extra retainers, and then that hole, and then on the bottom here we have one slot for the tabs here and one for the tab. And what I mean by that is those two tabs at the bottom here, 1, 2. And I don't know if I can show you this properly or not, but if you look right here, you can see that there are 2 screws with spacers holding this panel in place. So again, you can remove it, but once you've got your hardware in there, it may be a little bit challenging to do so. But it is possible. Okay, so we've got the standoffs set up for the motherboard, and again, we've got the cables holes here, and then these here. There's not. Okay, and you can mount. Actually, I'm wondering if you can mount. It seems like, despite what the box said, that you should be able to mount 120s and 140s up here. Judging by this. Yeah, I think that's 120 and 140. Let me just see if I can measure it. Sadly, I was wrong. That does only take 120. It's like 120, and then if you go to here, it's like 130. And so that's not going to work out quite well enough, approximately. So I don't know, maybe you can find a fan that'll fit there. It's hard to say for sure. And again, we can see the slots and the fan space there. And we can see there's lots. I like the fact that there's so much ventilation here. That's really nice. But this is a very basic case. And again, I actually didn't tell you this. Okay, so I was just looking for the specifications for the Dreamer Plus. I thought it was a Pro, but it's actually a Plus. So the benefits of the Dreamer Plus are it is bigger. It also is like, I think, almost twice the price. It can take an ATX motherboard. It can take a 360 millimeter water cooler, up to 5 hard disk drive bays, 2 3.5, and 3 2.5. So I don't actually. It's 2 3.5 inch hard disk drive bays and 3 2.5 inch SSDs. And then let's see, anything else. I thought it came with. I think it comes with fans, but it doesn't say that for sure here. I'm looking at an AI bit of information. Let me see if I can get a little bit more detail on that. So I'm having a little bit of buyer's remorse because I kind of would have liked to have been able to see how this performs with a 360, but I do have one 240 millimeter water cooler. The maximum height for the air cooler in this would be 157 millimeters. In the Plus, and the length maximum for the graphics card is 400 millimeters. So that's another 70 millimeters over the regular Dreamer. Trying to see what else there is about this. Hold on a second here. You can look it up yourself on Newegg or Temu. I'm looking for the rest of the specs, but it's, these companies are not really good about sharing that kind of information. Okay, so according to this, the top and the side and the bottom can hold 3 120s, and you can put the water cooler on the top. Not sure if you can put it on the side though. So it looks like you can do it on the side and the top, 240 or 360. The back is only 120. And then for the fans, you can just do 120 millimeter fans, 3 on top, bottom, and side, and 1 on the back. Same color options. And as far as the dimensions are concerned, compared to this one, the Plus has dimensions of 410 millimeters high, 418 millimeters long, and 280 millimeters wide. So it definitely adds some much needed additional space. Unfortunately, the top panel has the same things on the input-output panel. So there's, as far as the actual functionality of that, it's exactly the same. So, but I kind of wish I had gotten the larger one. But then again, I have been unemployed since December and recovering from surgery, so I really didn't want to risk the extra cost. Trying to keep my costs to a minimum. And just so you know, this is going to be the last case I'm going to be reviewing for a long time. And it's simply a matter of I don't really have enough space in this really, really small apartment. I don't have the money. I don't have a job, as I said. And I'm just not sure what's going to go on with America given the political climate. So I'm trying to prepare for multiple eventualities. I'm thinking about moving back to my hometown, Milwaukee. But this apartment that I'm in now is significantly smaller than my old apartment and more expensive because the landlords in this area are just so greedy. I mean, it's insane. I'm sure that a lot of you know exactly what I'm talking about, even though you're not in my area. Need to ask for your help. I'm sorry. On December 11th, 2024, Amazon terminated me and used false accusations against me. And on December 17th, I had my left shoulder operated on. I'm getting a lot better. I can do some things with my hand and my arm, but it's still pretty limited. If you could please help me out by liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, and turning on notifications for my channels, that would really help. If you want to help me financially and you can afford to, you can go to my Glenn's Fast Reviews and you can do a super thanks as a donation there. If you want to donate on a monthly basis, you can become a member there. And or you can go to patreon.com/GLENNMII. So thank you for that. Also, I'd like to say thank you to bleepingcomputer.com for allowing me to post messages on their forum about my videos. Thank you so much. And don't forget to visit them. They offer a lot of wonderful resources for people who are using computers. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.